Welcome to the Game Corner, another video game podcast. My name is Harrison. You might know me online as Rorix, and I'm joined as always by friend and co-host.
This is Sheldon. You probably know me as Captain Yanova.
Did you have to stop and think about that for a moment? You kind of paused.
No,
There was like a
just dramatic effect.
dramatic effect, not straight
very-
up confusion.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, cool. What's up? How you doing? Oh, I see you got your Oktoberfest beer going.
I do. It's that time of year.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm. Very yummy. I'm doing pretty good.
I just have my normal mix of meads.
Oh, you're of your own making, correct?
No.
Oh, you're not doing that anymore?
No, I am. That's such good talk. Okay, we'll get back to your stuff in a moment.
Yes.
I had the worst thing happen to me. Speaking of mead making, I went to check on. So I got I guess back in like February, I got we had like a Renaissance fair in the area, and they had a tent that was selling like mead making supplies. But what I was interested in, sorry to have mead making supplies, is they had a bunch of different honeys, like different like wildflower honey, orange blossom honey. I got a 3-pound thing of raspberry honey, and I was like, that just sounds fun. Like it's honey from raspberries, I think, not honey infused with raspberries.
Yeah.
But I was like, cool. I'm gonna make a plain mead with this and see how it comes out. I was really excited for it, and it was not cheap. It was like I want to say like $40-ish for the 3 pounds of honey. It was expensive. Wow. Yeah. That might be a little steep. Maybe 30. Either way, very expensive for what it was. More than the honey I normally use. And but anyway, so I made it like back in March at this point, I think, and then I've let it sit and age, and I just let it age in the carboy, which I don't normally do. I normally bottle it first. But anyway, all that fun stuff. But then I looked in the closet where I keep the carboy, and the airlock was off, got knocked down, and I was like, no, that is like the worst thing because now it's effectively contaminated, right?
Yep.
So I was very sad. I still put like you use a poison to kill the yeast. So I still put that in there and like mix it around, and I'm like, I don't even know if I should try this. I'm like. I'm debating, like, do I try it to see, like, hey, what is it? It smelled okay. It didn't smell like it was, like, bad. But I'm pretty sure, like, if I want to be sick, I can just drink some of this and then have, like, food poisoning for a day or two. Convenient, tasty food poisoning.
Makes you blind or...
Or on the flip side, maybe I get some superpowers. You never know.
Only one way to find out.
Only one way to find out. So that's my current batch. I'm so sad. I still have some of the my batch before that I made 2 batches. Still going through that slowly but surely. But no, this is just a store-bought mix of some very plain mead and then a berry mead to make it. That's a pretty color actually.
It is.
Like, I was very happy how it came out.
It looks like a good scotch. You need a couple ice cubes in there.
I can totally like fake like this is my oak aged bourbon that I'm sipping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can get that color in there. Get a couple of whiskey rocks. How's your beer?
Beer's good.
Oktoberfest.
Beer's always good. Oktoberfest.
Pumpkin spice beer. Pumpkin spice beer latte.
Men's pumpkin spice.
Hey, pumpkin spice lattes are good. I would say if I don't really like pumpkin spice.
I'm not a big fan of the pumpkin spice because it's kind of I'm not a big fan of like the chai kind of flavors. It's got that, usually has like that flavor to it.
Yeah. The yes, correct. That chai spiced flavor.
Yeah.
Spiced tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan. I'll take some normal sugar-filled latte any day.
Yes, chocolate. Something like that.
If Rowan was here, I'd make a joke about mocha. But
sadly, he is transforming himself into Thunderous or something, isn't he?
Yes. He is crunch time for cosplay for this weekend, which is Dragon Con.
Dragon Con in Atlanta.
And then he also said he's crunch time for work, but that's neither here
Probably
nor that's much less fun.
that's more probably in prep of not being coherent during the weekend. Yeah.
And next week too.
Yeah.
Knowing Dragon Con, so that'll be fun. I'm excited to see those photos.
Yeah, definitely. You need to have like a thunderous like bouncing around as we talk, just to pretend he's here.
I know we're recording a day early, which is our normal day for recording, unless you, except for the last like several months of recording, it's been record, edit, post. And I know I have some time I can do that. Maybe, probably not.
We got a Renaissance fair here next week.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Weekend.
I love Renaissance
that'll
fairs.
be fun. Same.
Yeah. Get some good meat.
Yes. Get that. Get a turkey leg. That'll be good to go.
Back when, so I've been going to this Renaissance fair. I like volunteering and working at this Renaissance fair since the first year it's been around here where I live. And I used to be like, yeah, so excited about turkey legs, and then I ate them, and then I'm like, I'm not excited about turkey legs. They kind of, like, in my humble opinion, they kind of suck.
It depends on how well they.
I mean, but I
usually smoke it. I guess usually probably is the best way to.
Yeah, it's smoked and like low bake.
If it's dry, then yeah, it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, that's true. But like, I've had them at this fair for several years. I've had them like you get the same turkey legs. Like, I live in Florida. I've gone to Universal and Disney, and they sell the same turkey legs, basically. I don't know. Yeah, just the excitement has fallen off for me.
That's fair.
Yes. What else is new? How's your schooling stuff going?
It's going.
Oh, that face was not.
Yeah, it's just it never stops.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's very true.
That's basically how I feel right now, especially with how this course is set up. So it's just I get done with one class and I'm right into the next. So
it's only one at a time, though, right? You're not doing.
Yeah, typically some months I have about 2 at a time, but
what does about 2 at a time mean? About 2?
Oh, yeah, 1 or more.
Okay,
but no more than 2.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, so that's not too bad as far as that, but it's still a lot because you're cramming it more because you're kind of cramming normal courses into a month.
It's just a month long?
Yeah.
Oh.
So what you would normally have on a like almost
on like a semester?
Pretty much like in a semester, it's just condensed.
So that's like 3 or 4 times the content.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a
condensed,
lot.
How the math works.
Keeps me busy.
Sure. Yeah.
That and work, which is, always work.
Always a thing.
Yeah. Never stops.
Now, my work doesn't even stop for hurricanes.
Oh, that's terrible.
We're not getting directly hit. No, if we were getting action. So yeah, Idalia is hitting Florida here soon. There's actually a very high chance that I lose power tomorrow, just because of how I know how crappy my infrastructure is around here, which would make editing this video very hard. But we'll see. If the episode is delayed, that's entirely wise because I'm not doing it tonight. Hopefully I'm not too concerned because we're gonna get hit with like most of the bands from where we are.
Yeah, so I know like the part that's getting hit. That's like I guess the biggest storm they've had hit like on land in that area.
So the west coast of Florida kind of hitting up towards the
near Georgia, Alabama.
Yeah, up in that area. It's gonna hit as I think it's
3.
Is it a 3 now?
It's supposed to land as a 3.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's exciting for them. I hope they're gonna be okay.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll find out if they're prepared for it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Florida build codes are kind of up to it for the most part, but places.
It's one of the things though. If you haven't had it, and you just like, oh yeah, it's not going to happen here, and then that's you end up with the Katrina situation where
that's exactly it.
The whole coast is underwater.
Yeah, here's hoping. I'm on the coast. I'm not beachside. I'm not on the barrier islands, but I'm waiting for the day when I do end up having beachfront property where I am.
One day.
It just erodes in. Yeah, so that's what's happening here. Very exciting.
Yeah.
You know what else is exciting?
What?
You can make a career out of winning Pokemon.
Career, I feel like,
That's
is a very
that's such an exaggeration.
Yeah.
I actually don't have these numbers up because I had to restart my computer a gazillion times before this recording. But where did that go?
I need to find. That's why I'm scrambling, looking for now.
I gave us like 10-ish minutes of just banter, and then we are both equally unprepared. Hold on.
This is the game corner where we just talk about stuff.
Yeah. That's okay. So that's spoilers. That's the B side of the B segment of this episode is going to be talking about stuff. Game stuff.
Hold on.
Where did it go?
I'll find it. All right. I think I found something.
Play Pokemon.
Anyway, you can actually make money from Pokemon now.
Okay, so I gotta be honest.
Well, huh?
So anyone who's like paying super close attention to the scene and listens to our podcast, you already know what we're gonna say. For those of you who haven't like seen this or don't pay that close attention, when I saw the tweets going around with this information, like screenshotted, I thought it was a joke. I thought people were like memeing and like BSing, making stuff up like about this. I was like, there's no way, because these numbers have jumped incredibly compared to what it was before. I think.
Yeah, definitely have.
Boy, do you have the link? Because I'm struggling to find it on championship points. Will that get me? No.
That is weird. They hit it. They don't want people to find it.
We don't want you to actually come play our game. All right, I don't. Oh, come on. Remember, y'all, be prepared before you do something.
Yes. No, we don't do that here. We shoot from the hip.
Okay, I got Worlds.
You got the Worlds one?
Yeah, I found Worlds one. So let's start there, and you keep searching for the regionals stuff. Actually, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. If I just want to give you this, the links in this page is what I use to get to Worlds. If my computer would copy,
I found it.
You beat me to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So Worlds, we're gonna start from the top and go down because it's impressive everywhere.
Yes.
So VGC, the stuff we actually care about, right? The prize pool, just they dumped money into it apparently across the board. All the numbers went up. But for VGC, first place now gets $30,000 for Worlds. What did they make in this year?
10, I believe.
Was it 10? I thought it was 5. 10? Might be 10. 10 sounds right. That would be on Victory Road.
But yeah, it wasn't much, especially for having to travel to Japan.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Just the preparation and everything for a tournament and to win.
Yeah, so hey came out with 10,000. You're right.
Yeah, and I mean, he didn't spend that kind of expense because it was in his hometown, but or home country. Yeah, but still, like, even if, like, say you traveled, from the United States to there, you're not making that much money on that trip, and you're probably still in the red after winning the world championship.
Well, especially because let's be real, everyone, like, not everyone, a lot of the people who at least were prominent talking about it on social media, they didn't just go for Worlds, they went for a vacation before or after, right? So that helps alleviate that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, again, if you were to, like Michael and Fede Campo, like, they each made $7,500 and $5,000. That helped their travels. Yes. But they still made zero money, spent money on getting there and staying there for longer, probably. So yes, overall you come out in the red, but you also got a vacation out of it. So I don't know, right? Like,
yeah,
if you played your cards right, like, you.
It's still not what it should be, especially considering the amount of money, I guess, going into these events, into the TPC
Right.
You know, just their entire thing. As much money is going into it, you're getting just such a small fraction.
I mean, as much money as the number one multimedia franchise in the world, or whatever it is, right? Yeah, I mean,
they make that at the pop-up Pokemon Center on a weekend. You know, they make more than what they're paying the players.
That's very true. But I mean, we've definitely talked about it offline, and I mean, you've been vocal about it on Twitter, that like microtransactions or something in the game would kind of help the price pooling. But then they did it anyway. They just dumped money into it anyway.
They did, and I'm glad to see the changes. It's a step in the right direction. Could it be more? I think definitely yes. I think there is more money that could be had, and I think the more money draws more people, which I think it just it goes back and forth kind of thing. Right there, it feeds into each other.
I agree with everything you just said, but you know what else I think?
What?
They bumped it up enough that people would shut up about it.
Yes.
Like, this is enough to placate like people across the board for a long time.
So in about 25 years, they'll they'll find
how
this
has
is just
VGC
inflation.
Been a thing? 2011?
12 years, isn't it?
Yeah, let's say 12 years. So
this is just inflation. This is just making up for inflation over time.
That's also very true. Yeah, that's fair. I would venture that that's not entirely false.
But it's still it is a good change. It was a good change they made.
Yes.
So
that's just, we just said the first one, right? That's first place is 30,000.
30,000.
Second place is 20. Third and fourth is 15. Top 8 is 10, and top 16 is 5, which is more. Oh no, sorry, 16. Top 16 got money this time around too.
Yep.
So that's 5. That's still,
it's a lot more. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot better payouts.
Now, granted, like, to look at the other two major games, we have first place for TCG gets $50,000, down to top 32nd gets 5, with similar tiers.
Which I don't have any qualms about them having a higher payouts,
because there's more money in TCG for the company.
Oh, way more players too. Like, their player base is
twice or 3 times.
It's
every event.
Every event is insane with TCG.
Now Go confuses me, not because their payout is first place is 20,000 and top and then the bottom tier, let me say, is 1,000, but it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, top 5, top 7, top 9, and top 13. So their bracket structure is different.
That's a weird way to put it.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. Top 13. That is strange.
Yeah, and let me check. I don't really care. I'm confused by it. I'm more interested because of that. But either way, like the money's gone up across the board, which is the key thing there. It's pretty cool. So that is a Worlds.
So that we can go to the international championships. If we just kind of want to just step a rung down, we can start there.
Yes. Tell me about ICs.
Okay, so ICs, I don't remember what the payouts were before for ICs. I mean, it was less than Worlds. Not this. So, all right. So for 2024 VGC, first place gets 15 grand. Going to second gets 10. Third and fourth get 7. 5th through 8th get 5. 9 through 16 get 3,000. And 17 through 32 get 2,000.
Okay, but you're missing the other important part about this too.
What's that?
There's 2 very cool things about about this the payout system here for VGC and ICs. Not only does it go down to top 32nd, which is pretty cool, because that's a tier below Worlds, for 2,000 for top 32nd.
That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty good. Yeah. And like
it's not even top cut. Like,
that's not even top cut. That's relatively like
that's doing good on day 2.
That's achievable.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't want to downplay anything here, because again, competition at IC is going to be huge. And then we can look back at our records from 2023 and know how good we are. But really though, like top 32nd, $2,000, that's achievable. That makes it so that like there's like more people are going to care more at these events, right?
Yeah.
But also, you get 72 booster packs for first through fourth. You get 8. I mean, for top 8, you get 36, and for top 16, you get 18 booster packs, baby.
Hey, you might be able to make some more money off of that.
That is actually more money. That's
if you get some good pulls.
Yeah.
Do you see what the booster packs are for the TCG IC winners? Look at those numbers.
Let's look at this. Let's just go down the line here real quick. First place for TCG, 25,000 for an IC. Hold on the next number because that's gonna be great. Second place, 15 for top 4, 10, top 8, 7, top 16, 5, top 32, $3,000, and top 64, $2,000. But wait, there's more. Top 8 and up all get what's that number? Oh yeah, 216 booster packs.
That's insane. So
that's really good because that's also the game you play, which is really cool.
A booster pack is what, about $5?
I would probably say 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 right now.
I'm just gonna say 5.
Let's go 5. Let's lowball.
That's $1,080 extra dollars in your pocket just on the packs. So
that's awesome. What's funny though too is that's
crazy.
Like $25,000 is $25,000. There's no that's what it is. But 216 booster packs is actually nothing to the Pokemon Company.
Yo, no, they just print it.
Here you go. I made this for you, right? It's literally nothing.
Yeah.
So we as consumers can say, oh, that's $1,080, but the Pokemon Company is here's
$100 worth of cardboard.
I was gonna say $50 worth of cardboard and packaging fees.
Yeah.
Right. Oh no, we didn't get profit on this cardboard, but we made the community happy. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm definitely making fun of this, but it is super good.
Yeah. I want to say the juniors and seniors divisions are getting what the old payouts were for masters divisions.
That sounds right. Right.
I want to say it was $5,000 for the IC winners.
Yeah, $5,000 for
the first place of junior. So you got the kids
kids are making money.
Right? Parents will be happy about that.
How does that work? Can TCPI as a company pay a minor grand's worth of money?
I know there's some ways around. Yeah, or they pay them in scholarships too a lot of times.
Or pay the parents.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It's interesting.
I know a lot of times they'll do companies and all will do scholarships, so you're not actually handing children, thousands of dollars.
Stacks of money, yeah. I mean, hey, it's cool. It is really fun to see.
Yep.
All of these games evolve this way.
Yep.
And similar prize to juniors and seniors for Pokemon Go at ICs, which is weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know the scene for Go. I don't pay attention while I'm at events.
I don't know.
Some
of the matches can be fun to watch sometimes, just because there's a swapping and the time they know exactly how many taps and it's almost like a fighting game as far as they're counting frames almost. They know the frames they have to hit.
Yeah, and there's a strategy to it, right? I don't want to downplay the game. I don't play it. I don't understand it. That's fine.
It's different.
If you're listening and you play the game, comment or tell us in the Q&A for Spotify or the comments down below for YouTube. Tell me more. I do want to understand Go as a competitive scene because I know enough to be mildly afraid. Yeah.
Of what you have to do to even get a team. I can't. It sounds crazy.
Yeah,
we think VGC's bad. They can't even gen anything.
Yeah, you can't even practice genning and Go. We just have to get better at genning after Worlds, apparently.
Right.
And then let's hit regionals real quick.
Yep.
Scroll down.
VGC regionals.
VGC regionals actually still pretty good. First
better
place,
than it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true. First place gets $6,000. Second, 4. Top 4, $2,000. Top 8, $1,000. And top 16, $750. I mean, smaller obviously than the ICs and the Worlds.
It's a regional. Like,
it's a regional, but that's still pretty good.
It's a lot better.
Yeah, like that's really good.
Like, because like it's top 16. That can cover a lot of people's trip to a regional. Like that's why I like to see a lot of these prizes, like not the high tiers, but like the lower ones. If it's covering at least like your travel expenses,
your hotel, everything like, to get there and play, like that makes it worth it.
It's rewarding you for, at least to a point, rewarding you for being good at the game.
Well. Yeah,
like for having a good weekend, like you're getting some kind of reward instead of like, oh man, I still, I'm ended up spending money even though I did really good at this tournament.
So, I guess we talked about championship points last time, so I don't know if we'll talk about that. But yeah, I mean that's still really cool. Just to continue the trend here, juniors first place gets 1,000, second 750, and top 4 500, with nothing for below that. And
kind of makes sense because sometimes like they only have like 8 players sometimes in lower divisions. So that makes sense that you're not gonna have the pricing all the way down. Yeah,
turnout's much lower for juniors and seniors. So like honestly, that makes it even better for juniors and seniors to go to regionals.
You can almost show up and guarantee money.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
Like, if you want to talk your parents into taking you to a tournament somewhere, be like, hey,
Mom, I can make $500.
Like this is just like a free $500. Like,
yeah, that's pretty neat. And then for TCG, first place is 10 grand, second is 7, third and fourth is 5, 8, top 8 is 3 grand, top 16 is 2 grand, top 32 is 1 grand. And then with booster packs, 108 booster packs. Still, just here you go. Here's a bunch of Actually, wait, hold on. For ICs and for regionals, the booster pack payout is the exact same. No, sorry, it cuts off.
It's the same for VGC.
First and second. Sorry, I meant VGC. Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
For VGC, first and second to 72, 36 for top 4, top 8 is 18, and top 16 is 9 for regionals. But it's 72 for top 4 and up, and then 16 and 18 for 8 and 16. That's just a bunch of numbers. I'm so sorry. That probably I realized after I said that didn't make sense, but sure.
Let's see. I'm just seeing if there's any other changes. Regionals, it's got a championship points, 200 for a winner.
Which is less. No, more. It was 180, right?
Maybe. But you get an automatic bid to Worlds.
Yes. That's the key thing, right? So you still get championship points to go towards like travel allowance and travel awards for Worlds, which is cool. But you just automatically get your invite if you win, which makes a lot of sense.
It does a lot more than just championship points, having to stack up championship, especially with the increased, threshold you have to hit.
Threshold, not cap, but the 500 you have to hit this year.
Yeah, you gotta get 500.
Yuck.
Which would be 2 regional wins and a top 8.
Yeah.
Like if you had to get
for just
the
regionals, yeah. Good point.
So this way, like if you can't make enough events to compete for the travel allowance, which is always
one really well.
You just have to win one. Like, you know what I mean? If you like showed to one and win and you can't go to others, like you're still good. You don't have to grind events or anything like that.
Now, I have a very interesting thought experiment for us on that note. The people who are good at this game and who travel to all these events and compete in all these events and win all these events, there's a handful of players who can consistently cut at least top cut, right?
Yeah.
So how often do you think this year with the new implementation of top first and second, I think both get, or is it? I think it's first for regionals and first and second for ICs.
Yeah.
Get your World's invite. There's going to be some amount of win trading or something along the lines of I have my invite, you don't yet, you get to win.
I mean,
or the flip side of people are just gonna be greedy and do it anyway. Okay, greedy is not the right word, right? If you're playing competition, like play the competition, is probably the correct stance to take. But like, I don't know if I were in the spot of I won a regional, I have my world's invite, and I was up against someone who maybe I don't know even, but like I'm up against them, like, and I know that they don't have their invite yet. I might go easy on them, right? If I was in that position, because I'm like, I don't need the free invite. I'll take the second place CP because it's still a lot. And like, sure, there is a difference of like a couple grand, but like, I mean, honestly, like, hey, let's split the pot, right? Like,
you give me the difference.
not even the difference, like just like let's go half and half. I don't care, right? Now, granted, I don't know. Am I alone in that? Like, what do you think? What would you do?
I think it's a bad thing if it were to happen. I don't think that's good for any kind of sport or anything.
Maybe.
It's one of those things. Okay.
But the thing is, it's not like I'm taking some random person who's bad at the game and saying you get a free win, right? Like,
I get that, but also, I guess the part of the problem too is I guess the optics, because like the championship game of the finals is going to be all eyes on that, and so if you're playing off, people are going to notice.
That's fair, and I
that's
guess
that would be like my worry. Like if you've been seen,
I guess that's
the whole run or something like. So, but
that might help too. I mean, it helps to see this, right?
Yeah. So people, I could see it possibly happening, but knowing a lot of the people probably at the top, I can't see them just throwing a game to give somebody a bone. It's like
I don't know. Like I feel like, and maybe it's a moot point, right? Because everyone who's at the top is gonna get the CP to.
And I think people are just gonna see the money, and they're like, I'm not throwing $2,000 just so you can get a world's invite. Like,
no. Actually, the money is definitely a factor there.
That's the only way I think you can keep things in check, as long as there's at least a somewhat substantial difference in between first and second.
Maybe. All right, you've changed my mind. My initial thought was like, maybe that would happen, and maybe I don't know. I'm never gonna be in this position, so it doesn't really matter what I say.
It's a thought experiment.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I would maybe think that like. Maybe I would want the 2 or 3 extra grand, whatever it ends up being.
Right.
Let's be real.
Once you really sit down and look at the money, you're like,
yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's do this again.
That's why some of these guys fight these, battles for the travel allowance. Because if you're out of region, that's $3,500.
The travel allowance is big, right?
And in region is $2,000. So like NA players are to get the travel allowance top 8?
I think it's top 8. Or that's what it was. Yeah. I think it changes every year, or is reevaluated every year, maybe.
Yeah, probably. But so NA will get $2,000 to go. To fly to Hawaii.
No, I guess the competition part of that actually does really, really cement that concept of I'm going to get this win, or I'm going to play my best at least, right? Like. Okay, I'll take it all back. Never mind. This is a dumb thought experiment. Who thought of this?
Right.
Goodness. VGC is full of cheaters. All right. That was funny.
I could see somebody throwing, if they're like, "Hey, I will give you my entire winnings for first place."
Okay, but I feel like that's like the bad end of that spectrum.
Yeah. I could see that happen if someone's like, "Oh, hey, we're at the IC. You can get $10,000, or you can get $15,000 in a world's invite that you might already have or something." Or it's like, "You let me get the world's invite, and I'm going to give you $15,000." Like, okay, no, I'll take $15,000. Like, thanks.
I mean, even like half of that, right? Like, give me $750.
Yeah, like that's sure. That's to me, that is worth giving up a world's invite. Like, I'll try next year.
Oh, if you don't have it.
Yeah. Oh, even if I did have it.
No, I don't know about that. I mean, sure.
Even if I did have it, and you offered me $7,500 for the spot. It's like, okay.
But at an IC, you're getting that anyway. Second place, you both get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which really does put a huge difference, right? From second to fourth is $3,000, but like and first is eight.
Five. Yeah.
Right, difference. So I don't know. This is a dumb thought experiment. Who would ever win trade for any reason at all?
We should feel bad for putting that into the universe.
No, okay. let me also put this out then. I am not the first or only person to think about this. I can't be.
It's probably the first time on a podcast it's been said.
Maybe. Does that make us like
pioneers?
Or bad people? Bad? Is this the end of the game corner because our morals are apparently
bad is subjective?
I don't know. It was just a thought experiment, right? Like, because again, I know I'm not the only person who has or will think of this, right? Because it's just another part of the system they put in place. And come on, we all play a game where like the whole point is figuring out how to best abuse the systems in place, right? Like that is VGC. That is any game really that has rules. So I think that makes sense.
I think the old moniker is if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Isn't that
is that a thing? I've never heard that.
Oh, you never heard that? Yeah.
No, but that really applies for VGC. Oh my gosh. We have touched on it so many times, the genning thing for VGC on this podcast. We need to have maybe next episode is just genning.
Just genning.
It's
the week. It's the week. Yeah, we don't really have much for next week either because we got next week and then DLC.
Yeah. So spoilers for next week. We actually, I'm not sure when recording will happen. We probably won't have Rowan again, is my guess. It might just be you and me.
Probably.
And I definitely want to have the genning discussion with the three of us because would be amazing.
Yeah.
Because really, like, I want to talk about what it is and why it is the way it is, right?
Makes sense. I like it.
There'll be things there. So okay, cool. We just did planning for 2 episodes from now.
Live on a podcast.
That's DLC time. I'm on a boat.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I'm on a cruise. I'm on a cruise when the DLC drops. I'm kind of sad about it.
So is that
because I was gonna stream or record my run for the DLC story stuff. So 3.
Oh, and it drops on a Wednesday too, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, it's a weird time. All right. Well,
why on a Wednesday? Why is it dropping on Wednesday?
No, I wish I knew. All right, this whole part of this episode has really gone to the dogs.
We're good at that.
We're really good at that. Yeah, let's see. Let's look. Let's see. Yeah, because it's the 13th. Yeah, so that's Wednesday. You know what else is on? What drops on a Wednesday?
What else?
Starfield.
Oh yeah, that's next week, right?
That's the 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is a fantastic segue into my idea for the B segment of this episode. There's a lot of games.
There are. There's so many good.
This has been a good year
hopefully
for
good games coming out.
Yeah. So Sheldon, you have been wildly busy with life and school and everything going on. Have you had any time to play games? Right. Like I know we talked a little bit about BG3. We talked a little about Palia on episodes past, but like
not much. Not like I want to.
Sure. Oh,
which sucks.
Who can?
Yeah. Like I'll sneak in. Like I can. If it's something I can play for like 15 minutes and stop or something here and there, like
okay, yeah, that's what you'll play, right? What game do you do that with?
Hardly anything.
Exactly. So I was looking around.
That's the hard thing with it. It's like I wish I had something I could just pick up, boom, put down.
So I've been looking at okay. So to lay the everything on the table, right? So we've had good games earlier this year. We had Tears of the Kingdom.
Yep.
Pikmin 4, right? I haven't picked it up, but Pikmin 4 is out. What else is really good this year? that has already dropped. Like first half of the year. I'm blanking. I know there's stuff.
I don't know.
Okay. Whatever. Obviously, it's not that good if I can't think about it.
Right.
But then as of late, right, in the last third of this year, we have Baldur's Gate has come out. That's amazing game. Very chunky game. There's a lot to it.
So much. And I can't wait to get into it.
I can't wait for you to get into it because you liked DOS so much.
Oh, I do. Oh, yes. That's one of my favorites. And the original Baldur's Gate 2. Like, Baldur's Gate 2 is one of my all-time most played games.
So I have not played any of the Baldur's Gate. I played DOS 2, and that's it. And like
DOS 2 is
so good.
But like the systems is so good. Like the whole engine, the game engine is amazing. Like,
and again, same company, same studio did Baldur's Gate, right? So Larian just took the same stuff and added onto it, made it better. So like DOS 2, I dropped off DOS 2. I've been wanting to go back, but like CRPG has been such a like it wasn't a genre that I knew I'd like. Not that I knew I wouldn't like, just I didn't know. I tried it out, and it took me a bit to get into DOS 2. I got into it, and then I really dropped off. And I remember Baldur's Gate. I jumped into it. I love it. It's great. But back to your 15-minute thing, I want to sit down and play that for hours on end.
Yeah,
it's that kind of game. I have not had enough time to do that. On top of like, there's just so many decisions. I'm like, oh, I don't know what I want to do right now.
Yeah.
That's been my situation with it. But what else we have? We have Starfield. We have
Starfield.
The DLC.
Starfield is one of the games I'm like, I want to see it first come out.
No, I'm excited to see it
because it feels like it's almost too ambitious, even for like.
I'm so curious because not only does it look wildly ambitious, and I totally agree with you on that. It's like Bethesda's first new IP in 2 decades or something.
It's ridiculous. Not Skyrim.
It's not Skyrim. It's not a Fallout, right? It's new, which is cool. I am worried, but cautiously optimistic.
Well, it's Bethesda too, so like I know they're saying they're putting it out without bugs or not with minimal, but
what does that mean for Bethesda? Minimal bugs for Bethesda is still like a swarm.
Yeah, it's so but it's just one of the things. It's like I feel like they promised a lot with this game, and it feels like I don't know if you ever followed like the Dream World saga, all that, or
what are you talking
you never
about?
heard about heard about Dream World?
Enlighten me.
It was a scam game. Like, so it was a what's that where you donate money to start up
like Kickstarter type thing.
Kickstarter, yeah, it was a Kickstarter scam basically.
They're
like, and the way they it's like it was a game. It will be the last game you'll ever play. You'll be able to do anything. It's millions of people on one server, all sorts of insane like stuff, and it never came to fruition. It was just if you don't know the whole story, like you can go down that rabbit hole and it's great. Like if you like scandals and
so what's really funny is like Todd Howard recently on some interview when he was talking about Elder Scrolls 6, he's like, I want Elder Scrolls 6 to be the best and like the ultimate fantasy life simulator, right, game or whatever. Like same thing that you just said about Dream World or whatever. I'm like, oh boy, that's exciting. I don't know. Like Bethesda has a known track record.
Yes.
Right? Like and they make good games.
Yeah. No, they do. I won't follow them on it unless it's like what Fallout 76. That one wasn't.
The thing is Fallout 76, they tried something different, a lot of different. But like Fallout 76 today is not the Fallout 76 that launched, and it is actually good. Like that's the key thing.
That's
like
fair.
So, and as an MMO, like sure, it's allowed to live, I think, that much.
Yeah.
But when you have something that's like, I don't know, even like 2077, Cyberpunk, right?
Cyberpunk, yeah.
It
That
came
was a
out.
horrendous. That was a bad
It
launch
was a
too.
bad launch, and it was a buggy
Real bad
mess.
launch.
But like a year later, they fixed all the bugs, and now like they have the DLC for that's coming out this year,
Yep.
Later this year, and they have like a 2.0 version coming out that'll have like here's all the improvements that we have for the DLC without the DLC story, which is really cool, right? So you still get like the benefits of all that work, and even like I think today 2077 is again a better game than it launched as, which is
Yeah.
I mean props to them, right?
But I think that's just a problem with gaming industry
Yes.
as it is. Like releasing, because back in the early 2000s, you didn't release a game that was not finished.
Not done.
Yeah. So it's good that that developers can uh
Update,
fix it, update, fix things in like real time, and not just have to wait. Oh, we'll wait till 2078. Not this was 2077. Yeah, it's a buggy mess, but 2078 that's where we'll fix all this stuff.
Yeah, they can iterate on the same game instead of waiting for the next literal iteration of the game.
It's a blessing and a curse, I feel like, because and that's why Baldur's Gate 3 was getting such kind of hate from other developers, because they released a finished product.
Yes, what's interesting about Baldur's Gate is yes, they've released a finished product, but you also realize that the first act has been in open beta for like 3 years, 2 years, like some absurd amount of time.
Well, which big games take games are getting bigger. The games are getting bigger now, and it takes more time to make these games.
So that's really weird. And now we've gotten way off topic of what I was going for, but I love this. So like the way I see it, right? There's games are only AAA games. We'll throw that undefined moniker on this, right? Like AAA games are only getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Because everyone wants to make the best game, not knowing that the best game might not have everything in it, but games are getting bigger, which means development time is getting longer. Yes. Now tools to help developers are getting better, sure.
Yep.
But the larger a game is, the longer it takes to develop, and the more bugs you're going to have, just because you have so many more interactions with different pieces of software. Sure, that all makes sense. Now you have the age-old question of, now we have a corporation backing this studio making a game, right? Corporation says, hey, we need to get stuff out. Now, we want this big game in small game time. That's not going to work.
No.
So you have the issue of things that are perpetually in early access or open beta or alpha or whatever stage of development they want to claim to be in, where they just say, hey, if you buy my game at full or nearly full price, you can play it early and give us feedback.
Yep.
Which is not a bad model, but I think it's very abused in today's stuff.
It is. It's very bad.
But now on the flip side, you have games like Baldur's Gate 3 that did it really well. Here's a third of the game, right? Here's one of 3 acts you can play through.
Yep.
You do the system, give us feedback. We get metrics from the game, right? All this stuff that goes on. And I don't know what
they changed a lot.
Yes.
From during the beta, like those story arcs, they changed a whole voice actor for one of the characters. Like
right? They had the chance to do all these edits, and you saw it though, too, which was very good to see it.
Yeah.
So that obviously helps. Now the game gets released, and there's a big to do. Everyone in the community loves the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 is out finally. Let's go play the whole thing, and it's a fantastic game. Does it have bugs? Absolutely. Are those bugs getting fixed? Absolutely. It's the title, like the tape has been cut, and now you get the other 2 acts, and then the game's there, right?
Yep.
So that's probably a good example of it being done. On the other side, you have games that like 76, 2077, what other games just happen to have numbers you can call them by, seem to come out in a buggy state, did not have an open beta. Let's talk about Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
And Hello Games did No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No Man's Sky and Sea of Thieves are examples of games that came out that seemed really tech demo-y. Like they were good games, under promised, and for Hello Games, right? There was a whole big thing with No Man's Sky for that. Sea of Thieves was a very kind of, it was good. It was basic compared to what it is now. Both those games over years have really flourished into something completely different than they were at launch. And I think
because they released a beta.
Well, kind of. They released a beta, or they released like a underfinished game, which is fine. But I don't think, except for the press side of No Man's Sky, like the game itself was good.
Yeah.
And then again, only better now. But you have 76 and 2077 came out, were a buggy mess, were bad, had a myriad of issues, but still got better over time, right? So two examples of games that were released had mixed to poor expectation receptions, and then grew to be really good games, and the games people wanted them to be in the beginning.
Yeah.
So those are like the three basic ways that this happens now, right? You have the forever early access. You have no early access, and then it gets fixed over time during the game's life. Or you have like a really good implementation of a decent time frame of early access and being well done to a fully fledged release game, right?
And then you got a unicorn of Tears of the Kingdom, which is in complete darkness until it releases. And it's a amazing game.
Tears was baffling, right? They hid the whole the whole depths until release. Like, holy crap! So yes, there's all that stuff, right?
But that's a unicorn. That's a unicorn in this industry.
That is very much a unicorn. So what do you think, like, of all of those, right? Like, what of those games have you played? What do you think is kind of the way to do it? How would you do it different?
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of questions. Especially a aspiring game developer here.
Good point, right? Yeah. You got to think about this stuff.
Yeah. So like it is something I have been like not necessarily researching, but also kind of just learning about. Like, and that's why I find fascinating some of these like scam fraud games. Just like what that, and then looking at Bethesda and all of these other companies, because Bethesda has a track record, but the thing they do so good with their games that we look at, it's not a bug, it's a feature, it's but because the gameplay, the core elements of the game are there. That get you it. And so like that's what needs to hit. Like, as long as you have that. Now, if you release something that's basic and like not like nothing new, like there's no reason to play this game,
right?
Like that's when it's like, okay, well, maybe you should have spent a little more time or done a beta, anything. And I think beta testing is the best way to go these days, because like you're saying, these games take longer to develop. Well, if you got hundreds, thousands of people playing your beta, that's free testers. That's testers that most likely paid you. That paid you to test your game for you, and they're giving you like quality feedback, saying we like this, we don't like this, and you can get a good sample.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Played in the beta and like giving feedback. Yeah. It's fun.
It's a fun, because people like that, especially like you take gamers, like we like to feel like you're part of the game. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like it gives you like some sense of ownership to what you're playing.
You get some say in how the game is being.
Yeah. Now, the only thing I will say, though, I don't want to see an open beta, and it goes into my whole, like, I guess, stuff I've studied and looked at, is whenever they have a full functioning cash shop in a beta.
Oh, yeah, that's tough, right?
I like that right there instantly turns me off, because
you want a good one? You want a good a bad example of that?
Yeah.
Have you ever played or heard of Ark Survival Evolved?
Yes.
So do you know about what they did?
No,
Okay, so they were.
I probably heard about it, but I don't remember.
They were in beta. They did not release 1.0 yet, and they released like 2 DLCs.
In beta?
Yeah, something
nice.
Like the timing didn't make, or early access, right? Whatever it was. I think it was early access on Steam.
Like, you're early access, you're in beta. Like, come on.
Yeah. You're not 1.0, you're not released. And then like, oh, here's some DLCs. There's like new islands or something, right?
It's like, what? The game's not even out yet.
That makes no sense. So that's a bad example. Now, same thing though. I think Arc did a similar way where they improved over time. Like if you go play Arc now, I think it's probably a good game.
Yeah.
Right. I remember that coming out. Remember it was college. I had my old. It's actually in a drawer right there. My old gaming laptop, chonky thing. Like it was thick.
Yeah.
And I would carry it around because I would do my schoolwork, my development, like and gaming all on this while I was on campus. But it was a decent gaming laptop at the time, and it could not play Arc when it first came out. I got it because I was like, this looks fun. I want to play it, and it was on sale or something, right? And so I got it, and I was like, ooh, I'm watching a slideshow. It was so poorly optimized. For my rough. It was like a 970 or 980 card at the time. Ooh, so bad.
That's like, I don't like seeing the stuff like that. No, but also you gotta, I guess, if you're a developer, especially in this like landscape, you're being pressured to make money.
Sure. Absolutely.
Because you can't make a sizable game worth its salt hardly as an indie developer. Like there are some indie developers that make great games.
Yeah, there are some amazing indie developers.
But these games don't happen in 1 or 2 years. These are 5-10 year like ventures with a small group of developers. It's not saying, hey, we're trying to get out here and make one. You didn't get backed by a big investor, because that investor wants to see their investment make money. That's why they invested in you. And that's where you get these kind of issues like that. They do everything they can to make a buck. So they'll release something too early. As long as the marketing and the campaign was good, they're going to sell. And they just said, we'll deal with the consequences and we'll fix it as we go. That's the best we can give you now.
And it's again, like there's, I think in all of this, no matter which way, a studio or publisher goes with a game, I do feel like there's a way to balance all of that, right? Have ambitious game, make most of ambitious game, get game out early, get some funds for game from that, right? You buy into the alpha or the beta. You get the feedback, which is extremely useful for these companies, the studios, I should say. You get some sales, you get some press for it, right? And then if you have I think the key thing there is probably a short-ish alpha period, right? Or beta period, I think, or early access period, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the key because it keeps
just like a lot of them do like a week prior.
No. I was thinking on the order of like a year. For like an early access.
Yeah.
To get that feedback, right? Because, and now I'm not saying like this is the perfect formula for every company, right? Every game ever, right? No. I mean like if I'm gonna play something that I know I'm buying early access and I know it's from a sizable studio, then I expect them to be like from early access to release pretty quickly. And I think 6 months, a year, I think it's fine. Depending on the game, of course.
Definitely.
And then I think also for games that are that like I know are live services, right? Like so, I mentioned earlier in that episode, but like we both dipped our toes in the Paleo, right? Which is an MMO. It's in early or beta, I think, right now. Open beta. Yeah. So open beta right now, like they're not in 1.0. It's just a cozy MMO, and they've already like they have like roadmaps. They have like a developer blog stuff. They're talking about like changes. Like that's give it a year in open beta, and I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
Right.
As long as they're taking feedback, learning.
Yeah, and like and it's a live service game, right? It's an MMO, right? I know it has to change. That's the nature of that genre. So like that's fine. I bought into or not bought into, it's free, but an early access game. So then I know like if I did pay money to play this game, like I would be okay with that because I knew it's early access. I knew what I was getting myself into, and I already see the like responses from the developer for improvements coming along the way.
Definitely.
So like I think the biggest thing, like short turnaround time, and then second to that, maybe even before that, would be communication. Right.
Yeah.
Have a steady stream.
That's what you want though from your developers. You don't want to kind of be left in the dark if you're anticipating something and it's
not coming, or it's slow, or it doesn't. You literally didn't live up to the marketing your team had.
And that's I do give Bethesda, a little credit because they do make amazing, but just what this new game's going to be, what it claims to be, is so much. Like it is like they're claiming thousands of worlds.
I think 1,000 worlds, 1,000 planets,
100 planets would be an immense game. Even if they're all procedurally generated for the most part, but that's still a lot.
So I'm very confused. So there's been some things that leakers have shown or talked about or whatever for the worlds, the planets.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this or see this?
Yes. Yeah.
So that like you can only walk like.
It's almost like it's zoned.
It's zoned. Yeah. Instant.
Yeah.
Zoned.
So you have a limit that you can walk, and then you have to fly to another landing spot on the planet to explore more of the planet.
Now I don't.
So it's not. That's not. But that's not open.
It's so not fully open world.
Yeah. See that,
planet,
and that's the thing. Like people are going to cling to when they see it. Like, yes. It's impressive what you did, but it's not what you said you were going to do in this game. But that's the communication thing you're talking about. If
marketing, that's marketing.
If they can't do something, don't claim it.
Yes.
And tell them we're open world until you hit this limit, and then all you have to do is just fly to another little spot, and then you can continue.
Now, someone claimed
because there is limitations within any technology. Like there's limits to what we can do still.
Hey, let's flash back to No Man's Sky. They have full planets you can just walk around. Yeah. Now, granted, the difference between No Man's Sky planets and what I imagine the experience will be like on a Starfield planet is there'll be things to do on a Starfield planet.
Hopefully.
Right, yeah.
Hopefully. See, and that's another thing. If there's nothing to do on these procedurally generated ones, that it is
So they took, right? So like No Man's Sky is procedurally generated based off your coordinates, like some funky math, right? That like it's similar. Like if you and I both play the game and go to the same exact place, we'll see a very similar planet. We probably would have a very hard time telling, oh, the planet is actually different, right?
Yeah.
Now, for Starfield, they've claimed that they basically took that same concept without saying, hey, we copied No Man's Sky, but saying, like, hey, we have procedural, like, planets, which will procedurally make the environment on the planet and then the story for the planet. Yeah. And that last bit is both exciting and very scary.
Yeah.
Right? That's the part that's going to go wrong.
I want to see it. That's like the kind of thing. It's like, I want to see, and I've heard good things about people that's gotten to play like that haven't been able to speak on it. I've seen people say like this game, like some good things about it.
Reviewers have like talked about it, saying like, well, that's not exactly what it is, but I can't say more.
Yeah. So that gives me a little hope.
Yeah.
For that, but I want to see what they did. Because the claim is so
drastic,
huge. Like it's huge for any video. It's bigger than any probably video games ever even been before.
I mean,
taking
No Man's Sky out of it, absolutely. Because I got to be honest. Well, what was there's another space exploration game that's very huge, but it's just the Milky Way, I think, and it is Elite Dangerous is also very large.
But I still feel like this game is going to be on. It's a larger scale than any of those.
It's a larger. I think what makes this game better is Bethesda, like, with all the faults that Bethesda has as a studio, like bugs and stuff, they do make amazing products, and they're very good storytelling.
Yeah,
right. Like
they are.
Even like the Fallout 76 in its early days, like it still had cool story elements to it, right? Like all this stuff, right? Obviously, Skyrim was as big as a hit as it was because it was a good, large, good story, all that fun stuff, and that just again, all their products are good storytellers, and I want to see them do the same thing with Starfield.
Yes, I want to say they will. I need to see it because it's gonna be. It's gonna be. I think it'll be great though.
I'm excited because I'm not playing it when it's first available on the first, because if you spent the big money, you can play it early.
Yeah, you can play it. Yeah.
But I definitely did pre-order it. I have it for the 6th, but I can return that if I need to.
Yeah.
I'll have a week-ish to see that game play. But like I knew I was gonna get it, so I'm already buying a different game right now. I'm gonna buy this.
Might as well. Yeah. Just throw it in the cart.
Yeah. Oh, Armored Core is what I bought at the same time, which is very fun.
Nice.
But yeah, so it was shortly after the last episode I said I'm not going to do this, and then I did it. But yeah, so the discussion did not go the direction I thought it was going to do. Which was that English? The discussion did not go in the direction I thought it was going to go, which is fine because I should have known that was going to happen when the two of us were just talking, which is okay. But this is very good.
We went on a journey.
That was a good journey. Anything more to say on the topic, though? Right. We
not
made
right now,
a good
anyway.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll save it for later. This is the Game Corner.
Yeah.
We're talking about games.
Yeah. So I meant to kind of shoehorn this in at the front of the episode. But if you've made it this far, I really don't have to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. We are trying to talk about things that aren't just Pokemon, right? Like I still want us to be maybe a Pokemon forward podcast. That's gonna be
gamers that play competitive Pokemon.
Wait, that's a good tagline. Welcome to the Game Corner. We're gamers who play competitive Pokemon. Wait, I kind of like that. We're gonna workshop that. But yeah, we want to do more discussion. Like last week, we had a good discussion about we talked about PlayStation 5, right? We had a commenter on YouTube about that. It was great. So we want to broaden our horizons and talk about more of our
give you something more, something different for your Pokemon centric podcasts that you rotate in.
Yeah. So hopefully this journey,
breath of fresh air
that we went on was a good breath of fresh air or something along those lines. I want to keep it coming. Actually, I don't remember. We talked so long ago about even doing like a Pokemon half and a gaming half of the podcast a long time, like a year ago at this point. But now we're finally kind of maybe doing it possibly, which is great. I love that for us. What do you think, listeners at home or wherever you are, or watchers on Spotify and YouTube? Let us know what you think about this, this gaming tangent that we went on. And what are the topics you want us to discuss, right? I mean, we're two random people, three random people when Mocha's here, who like games and have
and like to talk and just see where it goes.
Yeah, we're guys on the internet with microphones. We have a podcast.
We could do this.
But let us know your thoughts, right? Like, what do you think about all the stuff we talked about today? The open beta, early access stuff, how the industry works nowadays. Comment down below and just share this episode with a friend, right? Like we don't say that often, but like tell someone about us. Let's grow our cute little community.
Yeah.
Speaking of growing communities, we have, of course, our Discord in the link down below. With everything else we have in that link tree. I mean, I don't think I have to ask for another game, so I'm not going to, because we just talked about that for quite a bit.
Yeah.
Cool. Sheldon, who are you?
I am Captain Unova. You can find me on the Twitter not Bird app anymore, Captain _Unova, Captain Unova pretty much everywhere else, or you can just call me Sheldon.
Sheldon,
if that is what you desire. And who might you be?
Oh, well, thank you. I'm Harrison. You can find me at row_ixon on the Xbird app and all the things. Man, I gotta be honest. I've been trying to wrap my head around doing content creation more than this podcast episodes that we do every week, which is the only thing keeping my creative juices really flowing right now. But I think I'm looking at some Pokemon content for this channel. This Pokemon battles, Pokemon laddering, whatever. I might experiment with streaming on the thing here soon with some other games. I have a couple of exciting. I have some thoughts that I need to work out for planning, but that's a whole different issue. Look forward to that, maybe, kind of. Yeah. But together we have been the Game Corner. You can find us at Game Corner VGC and the Game Corner VGC, I think, and a bunch of places. It's all down below in the link tree. That's the most important thing, is to join that Discord.
Say hey.
Come say hi. Seriously, we need to talk more in that, but that's a different story. If you listening, if you're in that Discord, we're gonna talk more. Just come say hi, okay?
Yeah.
Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, tell your friend, all that fun stuff. But most importantly, above all else, press start and game on. Bye.